This is one of the outspoken things you talk about. You've also pushed back on your party on immigration. You've also pushed back on a number of different issues on the progressive side. Philadelphia Magazine says, is this the John Fetterman Pennsylvania elected? So what is it? Did you change in office, or has the party changed?
No, I've always been that way. I mean, my wife was a former dreamer.
So he's always been this way, despite the fact that, as was pointed out by that host, he's changed on a ton of stuff and also identifies as a different sort of Democrat. And we want to really dig into this. Now, he didn't go into much detail in that appearance, but this weekend he did talk with Bill Maher. And we'd love to show you the video of that, but I don't want to give Bill Maher any excuses to shut down our network. So unfortunately, I'm just going to have to read you what he said. But Maher asked him if his stroke changed his positions, which people have sort of speculated about. I consider that to be kind of like wild speculation. He said, absolutely. There's a line from the first Batman. Joker's like, I've been dead once already. It's very liberating. It's freeing in a way. And I just think after beating all of that, I just really want to be able to say the things that I have to really believe in and not be afraid of if there's any kind of blowback. He's implying that prior to his brain troubles, he was forced to fake being a progressive, which is not at all true. He was very enthusiastically branding himself as a progressive back in April of 2016. He said, we have started a progressive movement here in Pennsylvania. By the way, plenty of Democrats in Pennsylvania run as 100% corporate bought centrists. Very easy path to moving up in the party. He wasn't being forced to do anything. But he was asked about why he's not a progressive. What does it mean? He says, I didn't leave the label. It left me on that. After what happened on October 7th, I really knew that whole progressive stack would be blasted apart. And there would not be any kind of way how the Democrats are going to be able to reply to that kind of response. Understand he has difficulty communicating, so it's a little bit hard to follow. And I really decided early on that I believe that was going to be the right side with Israel throughout all of that. Democrats would continue to peel away and kind of walk away from standing with Israel on that. And he goes off about that for a while. Now, he felt that way prior to the 30 to 40,000 civilian casualties. His mind has not changed as the death toll has rocketed up. So I guess he's being consistent. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Listen, in order for the Damage Report to keep on going, we need viewers like you to become a member on YouTube. Can you click the join button on YouTube today? Thank you. I don't understand this weird revisionist history that like we were making him pretend to be progressive. Why did I make him post this? If we go to graphic 6, he says, great hair or the greatest hair. Retweet if you're standing with these progressive champions. I didn't Photoshop that logo of you to look like Bernie that you could run on. Or when he again declared that he's a progressive Democrat in this tweet, or right here where he wants progressive momentum, or any of that stuff. Now, there's been a lot of great reporting about the fact that he's got more and more Republican donors, and that could certainly be a component. He mentioned the stroke, but I don't know, Francesca, what do you make of this 180?
He just made his bed with money, and he did it before his stroke. This has nothing to do with his stroke. This has nothing to do with being a progressive or not. He made his bed with big, AIPAC money, Israeli lobby money, and he decided, I'm going to throw the progressive movement under the bus. The progressive movement that's calling for a ceasefire, that doesn't want any more bloodshed on any side. The progressive movement that calls an occupation, just like Amnesty International does. The progressive movement that believes in international law. He's like, no, screw it. I'm not a progressive anymore. And what's interesting is his tack to the right. It's not if you really follow AIPAC money, which we now know flows far more to Republicans than it does to Democrats. But you've got the likes of Democrat, Richie Torres and others who are fully standing with Israel, no matter how many casualties and how many, people, how many lives they claim, right? So that's what's weird to me. It's like, you can still be a Democrat, but yeah, he's got to get rid of the label progressive if he's gonna stand on the side of genocide. And honestly, good riddance, buddy. Bye-bye. Nothing happened, y'all. We just weren't careful enough to make sure that he wasn't accepting hand over fist money from Israel, and he was.
Yeah, and in terms of the money thing, it feels very much like cinema. And it also feels like we get very few actual progressive candidates, and now we have multiple people in that list that are a reminder to us that they'll just lie to us. They'll just invent a fake ideology. They don't actually believe it. They don't mean it at all. And it sucks to come to that realization. By the way, on this topic, he posted 2 days ago about the hostages being recovered. He said, he acknowledged them, said today they're free and rejoining their families. This is a triumph that also remains unfinished until every last hostage is brought back home. And for balance, let me now read his tweets about the Palestinian civilians who died. I'm done, because there are none, obviously. Because some people's lives are worth tweeting about, and some people's lives, even if there's 50 times as many, is not. Is that the brain thing? Is that the money thing? I don't know. I don't like it regardless of your explanation. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.